Visit this URL and copy the basics jQuery structure.
We'll first paste our code here. Okay, we'll show a button now. Actually, by using jQuery we can add lot of functionality to our button. So not only that look and feel we are changing, now we'll be changing the functionality. Will add a better user experience also. Let us give the name as button1. Let us say my button. You can give whatever you want, you can give this one. Okay, this will just to display the button, and we'll come to now the jQuery area where you will add a click function. So let us first use the selector, because we have used id as a new one. So let us say new one. This is the selector of the button. Dot now click function I am using. So let me, okay, this is my code which will go inside the, here it ends. This is my click function code. Whatever I write there, that will be executed once the button is clicked. So let us display one alert window. Hi, you clicked me. Anything you can write. So this message we want to display whenever user clicks the button. So that's all the code. You can see we have selector, we have used here new one. This is the id we have used new one. So my button id is this. So the selector is I have used here, and once it is clicked, the output will go to a alert window. Now I saved it. Let us refreshed it. Button is displayed. Okay, hi, you clicked me. Fine. Now let us try to display it in a div tag. In place of a alert window, we'll display it in a div tag. Let us write a div id, let's say d1, close it. Fine. Now this line will comment it here. Now we'll select the div tag. So this is d1, whatever we have selected now, dot html. We'll write the message here, hi, you clicked me. Fine, whatever message you want to give. Now let us save this, refresh this. Let's click this. Okay, hi, you clicked me. So the message has come here. So like that, the what on the click event of the button, anything we can display, or you start any process, or will submit a form. Will more and more functionality will add to the button. Many time we will be using a group of buttons and want to say that which button is clicked. So for that, instead of id, we will be using class. So let us say that we will give a common class name to the all the buttons. Class is equal to, let's say, my button. So you can use anything, my button. Okay, so this is the class of this particular button. Now we'll copy this and copy and use the and add more buttons. Now let us paste it. We are using 3 buttons, all have common class, and now we'll have different IDs. IDs are different. Sorry, name is also, will make it different by using new one here, new 2. Let us make it new 3. You can give any ID. Now what you will do, the any button is clicked, based on the class will display the ID of the button clicked. Now these are the 3 buttons. Now new one here. Now because we are going to access through class, so we will use it dot class is my button is my class name. So any, now these are the common classes of all the 3 buttons. Here you can see my button is the, sorry, there is no need for a double. Okay, so my button is, when it is clicked, we have used a dot representation to select any button is clicked. Now this code will be executed. Now first let us find out what is the ID of the button clicked. That we will store it in a str, in our string variable. Now simple this ID. Now that's all. Now our str contains the ID of the button which is clicked. Hi, you clicked. In here, what you will do, will add the string here. You clicked, give little space. Now here we will say str. Now this will give us the value of the str will be displayed, and this str value is taken based on the id of the button which is clicked. So any button I am clicking, the id corresponding id will be displayed. Let us save this, come here, refresh. Now we have 3 buttons. Now we know first, second, third. Now let me click the middle one. You clicked new 2. New 2 is the id. You can see the new 2 is the id of, here it is. You can see the second, third button. If I will click your new 3. So this is the id here we have used. Similarly, my button, first button, if I am clicking, I am picking up the id, because many time you may be requiring a common code to be executed on a group of button anyone is clicked by the user. Now you can see whenever a button is clicked, the class for the entire group of button is common, and based on this selection of the class, this particular code will be line number 17, 18 will be executed. First we are storing the id value, and then simply we are displaying. We can read the name also from instead in place of id. So let us change the name. Okay, here we have used a common. Let's say button, my button 3. So names are different. So if you want to read the name, let us in this place, let us change it to name. So I am saving this, coming here, refresh. Now it should display the name. Yeah, button 1. Button 1 is the name here we have used. If I am clicking button 2, here is name is button 2. My button 3 is picked up here. Similarly, we can read it as an attribute also. So let's say we have some value attributes here. Value is equal to, let's say, b1. Okay, this one is again, let us say value is equal to b2. We can say value is equal to b3. Now these are the attributes, better to put it under quotes. Value we have put, and now we will read the value and display. So instead of this way, we will go to select this, selected this dot attribute. Now value we are taking, value attribute, we will put it under codes. So we are reading the value attribute now as storing it in the variable str and displaying it here. Okay, I am saving this. You see all the buttons have different values. Yes, value attribute is different here. Let me refresh this. My button, you can see b1, second one b2, third one b3. So here like that I can extend the attributes also and can read the value associated with the clicked button. This is the advantage of using a common class name and using the button. We can enable or disable a button by handling its property. This has a better we can develop many applications using this enable and disable. Say unless certain conditions are satisfied, you don't want user to click any button, so you can keep it disabled. We have one video also, one tutorial where when a minimum number of text is entered, then only the button gets enabled. We will see that. Now here we are already using 3 buttons. These buttons will understand. What you will do, the first 1 and 2 buttons will use to enable and disable the third button. So here we have used the id. Now let us say once the first button is clicked, now the first button id is new one. Okay, we will use this new one in the click function of this. What will happen is, let us remove this is not required. Now we have the third button is new 3. New 3. Now here now we will access the property. What is this is disabled. This is the property. The value will set is true. Now you can see once we click the new one, the new one button is clicked. Here is the id of new one, id of first button. Then the third button, it's a new 3 id, the third button, will be disabled. So, we have set it disabled is true. Okay, let us save it and see the functionality, but so far only it will be able to disable only. Let us see. Now, all this third button is clickable. Now, let us click this. Now, you can see the third button is disabled. Now, let us enable it when you click the second button. Now, let us copy this code, paste it here, new 2, the second button. Now, new in these 3 property disable will make it false. That's all. So, this will now let us change that label text on it. The first one will disable, we will write it disable. Now, second one will write it enable, because second button when we click it enables the third button. Let the third button be my button. So, new 2 ID, when you click this one, you can give any name to the IDs, not a issue. Let us save it, refresh this. Now, disable, let me click. So, third button is disabled. Now, let me enable it. Yeah, third button is enabled. Again, let me disable it. Again, enable. So, based on the event, whatever I click, if first one is clicked, then this is disabled, property is disabled. We set the property of the third button. Similarly, if second one is clicked, then we are enabling it. Now, these have we can means it is this functionality is highly important, because many of the requirements say unless the user enters 10 character, you do not want him to submit it. So, in a text area, suppose somebody is writing a feedback, now you put a condition that up to 10 as long as the user has entered 10 character, the button will be in disabled conditions. Moment he exceeds 10, then only it will be enabled. So, the user can submit it. So, a minimum requirement, and it is good for the user also. Now, say to guide the user also, we can manage the text written on the button. Once it is exceeds 10, we can set it, yeah, you can submit. Before that, we will say no, minimum 10 character is to be written. So, that will give a user an idea how much minimum character he has to enter. We will see it in the next example, how we will manage the text written over the button. Before we move to manage the text on the button, let us first see how we will manage the, or how we will get the disabled property value from the button. Means what is the, suppose you want to read what is the status of this button, okay, how we will get it. Now, we can see that the first one, when you click, it disables the button. Now, let us display the status in our div ID D1. Here we have already used this. Now, this value will set it to that. So, now D1, this dot text. Now, this is because we are reading the status as true or false. So, let me just find, we will go select now the button 3, the button 3 ID is new 3, find new 3 property. Now, it is disabled. So, this property value I will be what I am trying is displaying the in this ID the value whatever is the of the the status of disabled of third button. Status I am displaying. Here is my status will come here. This I am displaying it inside this. Up to this is the status. It is going inside the div tag. Now, the same code I will be using once the second button is clicked also. I will just paste it here. Let us see, this is this way D1. Okay, let us save this, refresh this, and let me disable. Okay, disable means it is disabled is true. Let us enable it, it is false now. So, the status is displayed here. Now, based on this we can write our own code. Let us again disable, enable. So, the status we can generate a alert window also. The same text will be displayed in a alert window. Now, we will move to our next step. Okay, we will read the text on the button and manage it. For that, we will change our HTML part little bit. For the first button, input type is equal to button we will use, and ID let it be same. Name anyway we are not using and class, so let us delete it. Value is B1. Now, this will this part is not required. Okay, so value is, or let us say button 1, fine, but second one will keep this one, and there is no need for value. Now here we will manage it differently. So here we will see button 2. Okay, fine, let's make b uniform, fine. So this is button 2. Now these two, third one we are not using now. Here what you will do, will remove this, will come back to our jQuery. When the first button is clicked, will change its text. Now what we will do, let us select again, sorry, this one, select dollar. Okay, here the first one is new one. Now when it is clicked, now let us set its property. Property is value property we are changing. Now let us write it, I am clicked. You can write anything. So when new one is changed, here the value is say button 1, but we'll change that one now. Now let me save it. We'll check the first one first. I have saved it, refreshed. Now it says button 1. Now if I'll click this, yeah, it is changed to I am clicked. So because it's a value attribute, we are value property, we are changing it. Now for the second one, we'll use it little differently. New one click function, because we don't have a value there, we'll go for the HTML part of it. So let us select new 2, that is the ID of the second one. When it is clicked, HTML. Now we'll write say I am clicked, I am changed, let's say changed, I am changed. So new 2 HTML. Now here button 2, so this should change. I am saving this, I am refreshing, fine. Now I have clicked, I am changed. Now button 1 you already done, I am clicked. So this is how it will change. We can read the value and accordingly change the program also. So we will learn in the next part. We learn how to read the value and dynamically change the value. So far we have one only, we are just changing the value. Now we will read the value also. For that, let us button, we'll make it on and off. So first one will change it to button on. Now if what I will do, first let us read this one. Sorry, let us say var str this. Now attribute. Now what is attribute? We will reading value attribute. Fine, attribute. Now if str is equal to what it is, button on, sorry, on, then what should happen, this part will put it here, control X, will put it here and say button off, button off. If it is on, make it off, fine. Let me copy this up to this again, because I will be using again. Now here else means this. Let me paste this and make it on again. So let us see what we find. Let us save this now and check once. I have saved it. Let me refresh. Okay, button is on. Now once I click this, okay, button is off. Now again I click it, it is on. Again I click off. What is happening, every time I am clicking this button, this value it is reading, and based on the if condition, this value is either if or else part, whatever is getting executed. Visit this URL in the description, then scroll down, and here you can see the one text area. I will start writing this in this text area. This is a, okay, now moment I reached 10, this button here is enabled, fine. And moment I delete one text, this button is again disabled. It checks that the moment you reach the minimum required length of 10 characters, then it enables the button. This is how one of the application whatever we have learned from our button program, that how we will add functionality to a button. This is the one example of it. So, this monitors the number of characters entered by the user, and as soon as it reaches 10, it enables it. Before that, it can be, we can also add a message that minimum 10, or now it is available for submit, whatever UI you want. So, this is how this is done. This part is done. You can see the code here, it is written here. It's used a key of event, then the value is taken here, and the length is calculated. You can see here, if the length is more than 9, then this property disabled false. This line we have studied just now, that how you will set the property, disable property of a button. This set is to false. Now, if it is not so, then in the else part we are making the disabled as true. So, as long as minimum 10 characters or greater than 9 characters are entered, the button will be remain in the disable. Moment you reaches 10, it will be enabled.